Hello and welcome. You're watching us on YouTube. Remember, you can log in to youtube.com/NDTV for all the latest updates on the news stories of the day. Well, this morning we've put out a list of stories that we're tracking and we're asking you to vote on which one you want to know more about. Uddhav Thackeray will be Maharashtra's Chief Minister tomorrow. That's when he's going to be sworn in. That getting the maximum number, 49% of the votes right now. The Pawar Parivar over, as we're calling it, well, that comes in at second place. From hotels to assembly, Maharashtra MLAs take oath. ISRO set to launch 14 satellites. It has, in fact, launched those satellites and spicing up dosas, running for president. That was our other big story. But the clear winner, Uddhav Thackeray, it's all set to become the next Maharashtra Chief Minister. Remember, Maharashtra is getting a Shiv Sena Chief Minister after 20 long years, and it is the first time that a member of the Thackeray family is directly taking on a role, a chief ministerial role, and directly being in power. So a big policy change in that sense for the Shiv Sena as well. So what do we know at this point? Well, Uddhav Thackeray this morning has met with Governor B.S. Koshyari. He and his wife paid a courtesy visit to the governor, and flowers were exchanged, and that took place at the same time that 288 MLAs were being sworn in at the Vidhan Bhavan. Well, what we know at this point is that NCP-Congress and Sena MLAs will be meeting with senior leaders in a short while from now, and that's when the real business of power sharing will be thrashed out. This is going to be the business end of this alliance that has come together and is now going to form government in Maharashtra, the Mahavikas Aghadi as they call themselves. It's taken a while for all the cards to fall into place, but at this point, really it's going to be about who gets which portfolio, who gets to be Deputy Chief Minister. Remember, we're being told at this point that the NCP as well as the Congress will get a Deputy Chief Minister each. Now, the reason why we're harping on this, Uddhav Thackeray, of course, set to be Chief Minister, and his swearing in is going to be tomorrow at Mumbai's Shivaji Park, an iconic setting for the Shiv Sena, and that, of course, is going to go ahead as scheduled. But really now, the point to focus on is going to be how the power sharing equation is going to be resolved between these three parties. Now, why we're stressing on this? Well, there are two Deputy Chief Minister posts up for grabs. There are several key ministerial portfolios, home, revenue, finance, for which there will be more than one contender. Remember, among the leaders here, there are already three former Chief Ministers. Ashok Chavan has been Chief Minister of Maharashtra in the past, and as has Prithviraj Chavan. And Sharad Pawar, of course, the man who is really responsible for bringing this entire alliance together, has been a past Chief Minister as well. So can Sharad Pawar paper over the differences, not just in ideology, but the difference in approach between these three parties? Can he, in fact, resolve the power sharing conundrum so that MLAs of all three parties go back happy? Now, why is this going to be critical even before the ideological differences come into place, even before the actual business of government or of governing in Maharashtra takes place? These key questions have to be resolved, ministerial portfolios being among them. And at this point, a lot of people are throwing up the cautionary tale of Karnataka. Remember, in Karnataka too, it was this precise question of power sharing between the two parties that brought things a cropper, and there were MLAs who were disgruntled because they didn't get the portfolios that they wanted to, and that was when they decided to rebel and later on perhaps align themselves with the BJP. Could we see a similar scenario repeating itself in Maharashtra? That's going to be the key question going ahead. Presumably, the Mahavikas Aghadi knows that this is going to be one of its key challenges, and that's why it wants to resolve the whole vexed question of power sharing at the earliest that it can. And they're saying that they're going to go into meetings right now. As soon as all MLAs have been administered their oath of office, and that they hope to resolve this entire scenario by the end of the day today. That is, even before Uddhav Thackeray is sworn in as Maharashtra Chief Minister. Now, it's going to be a big day, of course, tomorrow for the Shiv Sena. Uddhav Thackeray really resisting the BJP at this point. It has been the issue of the Chief Minister's post that brought that alliance finally to a very abrupt end. Uddhav Thackeray saying that a promise was made to him, the BJP insisting that there had never been any talks on a rotating chief ministerial post or sharing the chief minister's chair. Uddhav Thackeray saying that this wasn't just about backing down from promises, but he felt this was far more personal because he was in effect being accused of lying. So the relationship between the Sena and the BJP coming to an abrupt end over there. But Uddhav Thackeray seems to have been the gainer. He is all set to be the next Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Now, whether his government will last the full 5-year term or not is going to be the big question going ahead. Remember, unlike Karnataka, where there were 2 parties sharing power, here there are 3. And is that going to really be the crux now on which things move? So what do we know so far? This morning, MLAs started taking oaths at shortly after 8 o'clock this morning. And before that, the visuals coming in from Maharashtra's Vidhan Bhavan, we saw NCP's Supriya Sule pretty much presiding over proceedings as MLAs were entering. She was greeting them, welcoming them with a hug. There was a photo op moment when Ajit Pawar, Sharad Pawar's nephew, Supriya Sule's cousin, the man who appeared to have deserted his party when he went and allied with the BJP and became Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra for a very brief 80 hours. Well, he's back in the party's fold, and as he came in to the Vidhan Bhavan, he was enveloped in a hug. His cousin Supriya Sule giving him a hug. But as we saw those visuals, the big question, of course, is the succession question within the NCP now a settled one? Is Supriya Sule now going to be Sharad Pawar's successor? Well, if you go by the symbolism of today, if you go by the visuals we saw today, then it certainly looks like a very real possibility. How is Ajit Pawar going to be accommodated in this new scenario? Can he still be the NCP's candidate for the Deputy Chief Minister's post? Can he in fact be rewarded even after his temporary revolt, even if he's come back to the party? Well, Ajit Pawar has massive support within the NCP, so it'll be very interesting to see how the party resolves that question. For the moment, the details that we have, those meetings taking place today, meetings that will be key to resolving the question of portfolios. And then, of course, it's going to be the big journey ahead of making sure that this government can last its full 5 years. The questions for the BJP at this point, the questions that the opposition continue to raise: why were constitutional posts, in a sense, abused or misused? Why was there a need for the government formation? And the very secretive swearing-in ceremony that had taken place on Saturday morning when Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar were sworn in, only to have to resign 4 days later after the Supreme Court intervened and ordered an immediate floor test. That is a question that the BJP will perhaps continue to face. Has the BJP been the biggest loser in all of this? Remember, they say the mandate was for them and the Shiv Sena. The BJP is still the single largest party with 105 MLAs, but they will now have to sit in the opposition because they refuse to concede to the Shiv Sena on the question of the Chief Minister's post. This is a fascinating story that we'll continue to track here on NDTV 24/7. Do stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in to YouTube.